Forged in the lockdown. Hello and welcome to Critical Questions, where Nerdy interrupts me during the introduction. The Unfathomable quiz. I've trolled the internet for the best, worst, most interesting and ridiculous dumb questions I can find, and with any luck, my guests will be able to answer all of them. Hello.
Hello. We've missed you. It's been a while.
It has.
Are we on yet?
No.
No, there's another 5 minutes.
I just had a Kaz with a really weird look at me. And she's telling me off for having my speakers on. How are you all doing? How long has it been?
For a couple of weeks at least.
3 weeks, I think.
No, there was that Friday when I got really ridiculously drunk. That late Friday night one. I'm sure that's within the last 3 weeks.
That wasn't Dave's show. Was it?
There was the anniversary one.
Okay, well that one doesn't count though, because it was like a special show. Whatever.
That was a Friday night and people were drunk. It was very odd. People don't get drunk on my show.
Never mind. I love you.
People come to my show to get stoned, not drunk.
I am woefully out of weed, so
Are you?
You have sober Amanda today.
Sober Amanda today. Do you not really? I'm not surprised you don't remember the anniversary. You were very giggly.
It was my birthday. Give me a fucking break.
It was your birthday?
Hate you.
How old are you?
29.
I am. There you go.
You don't ask that question.
The worst thing is she was going to answer it.
No, I was going to say something along those lines.
Right. I don't know whether to start before we have the random person appearing. Today we have got with us Amanda, who is no longer... Oh, crap. She's... I've forgotten already. She's pale. You've
forgotten my name? Which one?
Pale Blue Mama.
There you go. I mean, it's almost on the screen. Oh, Ricardo's here.
That's okay. We can still get the other person because we can have another person as well. We have got Godless Scummer.
Ahoy.
We have got Jenny.
Good morning.
We have got Math Pig.
Hi.
And we have got Ricardo.
Hello all.
Hi, sweetheart, Ricardo.
Thank you for jumping in.
You're welcome.
Did you all have a good weekend?
Yeah, it's been same as a lot of the weekends. I did pretty decent Sunday though, because the way I figure it was the way I figure it is I got to destroy several straw mans of atheism and shoot Kent Hovind and Matt Powell with arrows in one day. I think that was very evil.
Okay.
Did you manage to kill them?
Yeah. We killed them and we recovered Kent's tax records.
Oh, did you?
I don't believe that.
Whether that D&D game earns us a whacking or whack an atheist or not, we don't know. I don't know if we're big enough for Kent to pay attention to, but I don't know. We mention his name is normally enough to get some attention from him.
I was going to say, I was just on Barman, and he had some very stupid videos, and very stupid people, including me, and that was a laugh.
I will second as well. That guy, who's on about Great Believer. Yeah, that guy's a fucking trip on Twitter. For just pure stupid.
He said he's gonna tag me in.
Yeah, this guy's. Oh, yeah, he is.
That's not good. Right, should we do some questions? No?
I'm muted. No.
Okay. What do we do then? I don't know what to do if we don't do questions.
Go home early.
Go home early. Right. I've got a nice question for the first one. Question 1495. What is your favourite social media platform? And why?
Oh, boy. There's so many to pick from.
Yes, and we are using the term loosely.
Which term?
Social media platform.
Oh.
So what do you mean by that, though? Like, what is a what is an example of a loose social media platform?
Tusk says in the chat, Grinder.
Oh God, that's not.
Okay.
I mean,
Nerdy says YouTube because Dave is on it.
If I was to say, if there's two I spend most of my time on, it's Twitter and YouTube. Whether that means favourite or not, I don't. But yeah, those are the ones I spend most of my time on.
Which of those do you prefer?
Probably YouTube. I don't know. It just seems, even though there's a lot of stupid people on this platform, I seem to bump into them less on here than I do on Twitter.
Ox says YouTube because Mama is on it.
aw, love you too, Ox. Mwah.
Truth Seeker says Twitter, definitely Twitter. Manda?
I spend a lot. I do. Spend way too much time on Twitter, so we're gonna go with that.
Tatty Bogle says, does Pornhub count? Pornhub count? Well, it depends how you use Pornhub, really. If you interact with Pornhub, I think it counts. If you just consume Pornhub, I don't think it does.
I don't know.
It's one of those, it probably counts. Christopher says YouTube and Discord. Robbie?
So, someone had to say fucking Discord, didn't they?
Probably the same as Chris. And that's a stretch. I hate
YouTube and Discord. He hates Twitter. I'm sorry, why has no one said Facebook?
Because it's right wing trash.
What do we got to? Chad says Twitter for social media. YouTube is my TV, and I don't interact much on it. Ox says, shh, not where MathPig can see. Is that you blowing kisses to Ox? Never Again says YouTube, as I'm the only one. I'm the only one on. I'm the only one I'm on. Oh, only one she's on. Right. I can't read. Truth Seeker says Facebook is the worst. Ricardo.
Twitter and Pornhub. Depends on
Twitter
the
and
time of the day.
Do you use them the same way?
You do?
Kind of.
See, I want to answer this, and I want to say it's got to be Twitter. Twitter is it's the best game I've ever played.
What?
It's the best game I've ever played.
You
have to defeat the monsters and help the good guys and level up.
You do know that, like, winning at Twitter is like the same thing as losing at life, Dave.
I disagree until I die. I'll hand over my Twitter account to someone else. Nerdy says MySpace.
Oh, you have to follow Badger on there then.
No one said Gab.
I think LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
That's just sad, Jenny. That's just fucking sad.
Well, what Twitter pisses me off most, does that mean I like it the most?
Which? Twitter?
Really?
What?
Yeah. Doesn't it piss you off?
Yeah. Nerdy says, and Friends Reunited. I thought Friends Reunited had died.
I know somebody said Instagram. What seems to be an Instagram person here?
It's like TikTok. Instagram is kind of a younger thing, though. Like, I don't know. I don't like it doesn't draw my interest to
I think the
scroll
problem
through
is
people, just pictures. I want to read something, even if it's just a short Twitter snippet. I
think the problem is we didn't grow up with a camera in our pocket.
That's true. Even Angel, when he was like super, like I have friends who have kids that are younger, and they have like and Robbie, especially has a billion fucking pictures of Elena, and we didn't have that when Angel was little. I don't have a million pictures of him like that. So yeah. But that kind of ends up backfiring because kids are so used to having their picture taken that they constantly are taking pictures themselves and everything that they do. And yeah,
it doesn't occur to me to pull my phone out of my pocket to take a picture of something. And that's the mentality I don't have.
Sometimes it doesn't.
Which I find really weird. Theo says the pub. I don't think that's been a very good social network of late.
I've never heard of it.
No.
What, the pub?
Yeah.
The bar.
The pub would be a good name for a social media site, actually. But
Just Twitter is like using a random chat on ICQ. Yeah, see, ICQ would count as a social network under the loose definition. ICQ was awesome. Right. See, again, I've got to go. I've got to go with Twitter. Right, next question. Question 1496.
Wait. Did you answer? Sorry.
They've just answered, yeah.
Okay,
Yes, I answered.
In my defense, I'm apologizing to all the people that I asked to come fill Stool's spot that now have come back and said yes.
No, we can still have one more. That's what I said.
I fucking hate you, Dave. Like, I fucking hate you.
I didn't say. Right.
Anyway.
Question 1496. When did you last write a check?
Oh, fuck.
No time in the past year, at least. So.
No one has written a check recently. I thought checks were still prevalent in the States.
Not since I lived in Tucson, I haven't.
How long ago was that?
I don't think I've written one in
At least 4 years.
Nerdy says receiving checks, if that counts. Not really, because it might do. I mean, the problem is we get share dividends as checks if you don't sign up to get it to go in the bank.
I've had to turn away checks because I don't have a bank account.
Can you not just cash it? Theo says 98.
You try to go cash a check if you're not a
we
customer of a specific bank.
We have post offices for that. Christopher says last month had to get a physical one from the bank. Ox says 2003. I just looked it up. Theo says he thinks it bounced. Does that count? Sure. Tobin says yeah. Tobin says the 90s. Tusk says 2004. I was a student and I used my check guarantee card to steal over 5k from the Bank of Scotland. What, they continued to they continued to guarantee the checks.
Is this why we had to bail the Bank of Scotland out in 2008?
Yeah, it's all Tusk.
Yeah.
Never Again says I use checks every day, but personal checks at least once a month. Mark says I got a bank check to pay for a car about 8 months ago. I loved buying my new car. You see, wouldn't it be better to buy it with cash? Just get a big wad of cash and walk down.
You know, I what's happened in my life is that I use cash more than almost anything.
Yeah. Well, I could tell you that in the business I do the tills for, year before last, cards accounted for 10% of the business. With no checks, just cards. And in the last 12 months, card now accounts for 90% of the business.
I can actually tell you. Actually, now I can remember why the last thing I had to send a check for was when I was saving up to go to China, because the company we were going for was a very small little operation that it was easier just to mail them. The easiest thing was to mail them a check.
Hmm. Well, this is the thing. The reason they don't want to get rid of checks in the UK is sending stuff through the post.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, I mean, you ask how long people sent checks. I can't remember the last time I ever used a postal order for anything.
No.
I can't. I mean, they've been obsolete since like the 90s, really.
I was going to say, as a kid, I remember sending a postal order to a TV competition.
Ooh.
The postage and packing.
What was the TV competition related
I've
to?
no idea. Absolutely no idea. It depends how old I was.
To get your blue Peter badge, was it? Or
There's a reasonable chance it was Blue Peter.
Okay, it sounded like you said Blue Pizza, and that was very confusing.
Do you not have Blue Peter over there?
Blue Peter?
Blue Peter's a very British show.
Oh, you guys got shit shows. Come on.
Are you
When
saying
you watch
Blue
American
better than
Blue
fucking
Pizza?
Sesame Street?
Peter.
Oh,
Ah,
Peter.
Peter.
As in the really dodgy animal rights organisation.
Who's
Peter.
Oh, Peter. So you're not actually saying Peter.
No, I'm saying Peter.
Okay.
The name is Peter,
Cool.
as in a person.
Dave, can I skip this question just by
What are people
saying,
gonna learn how to talk?
as can I just skip this question by saying, here's one I answered earlier.
What?
See, you're not even getting the Blue Peter references here, Dave. I'm disappointed.
I don't remember Blue
Peter.
Peter. I don't remember Blue Peter. That's the worst thing.
You remember the theme tune?
I know. Chad says, last year I didn't want to set up an online bank transfer. I was going anyway, so I wrote myself a check. Actually, that's probably the last time I wrote a check, because that's how you used to get cash out the bank. And you wanted to get more than 250 quid out, because you could only get 250 quid out at the ATM. So you write yourself a check for cash and pass it at the bank. That's got to be the last time I wrote a check, and that must have been 15 years ago.
Okay.
Well, now you can use your card to inside the bank.
I was going to say, you can just use your card. I didn't realize it was 15 years ago.
Nerdy says, I must postal order something now. Send your postal orders to me. Tusk says, I used a postal order to buy my fishing permit just a month ago. Why are you buying a fishing permit? I thought no one bought fishing permits anymore. I sent a post.
Not in America.
Do they?
Mm-hmm. You have to.
What happens if you don't? Who checks them? The fish?
No, I mean the Game and Wildlife will, if they catch you, they will fine you. If you want to enter some kind of fishing competition or something like that, you have to have a license. So I don't know.
Fair enough.
I did. I grew up fishing. I never had a license, but I don't know if it relates to young kids. I think there's an age.
Excuse me, let me die. Manda, when was yours?
I had to be probably 5 years ago. But even probably before that, it had to be some. It was the last time I remember having a checkbook was when I lived in Tucson, but I very rarely wrote checks then.
Ricardo?
I've never wrote a check in the UK, so it's more than 10 years, and I really don't remember when. Maybe early 2000s, something like that. Yeah, I remember receiving, when I opened my first bank account in the UK with Nationwide, they gave me a checkbook, and I returned it about 2 years later, and they hadn't been touched. So it's clearly more than 10 years, and I don't know if I've. I think that maybe early 2000s, maybe.
I know I've paid one in since I've written one out, because I got £25 on a premium bond. a few months ago. So
I'm trying to think of the last time I received a check, and it was
like an actual physical check, or
a check that was on the bottom of something that I think I might have got some PPI insurance back or something like that. Because when I went bankrupt, they sent organisations off to check things and do things, and they decided to pay them to go and do PPI stuff on me, which if they'd have asked me, I'd have told them it's a complete waste of time. And it came back that I had for like £1.50. I got a check for £1.50.
Woohoo! Yeah, I used to get loads of bloody calls about PPI back then, but it's like I knew for a fact I'd never bought PPI, so it didn't fucking.
No, this was the point. I knew I got it very early on, and I read the terms and conditions, and I knew that virtually everything health related that related to PPI, I would be disqualified from straight away. It doesn't matter any accident I have, they could turn it around to my health.
Yeah.
And so basically, it meant that half of every policy wasn't worth it, so it was never worth it.
Yeah.
Right, Tusk just DM'd me. Blue Peter story. A few years ago, I emailed Blue Peter and told them that my house had been burgled. I said that the insurance company had replaced everything except my Blue Peter badge, so they sent me another. I sold it on eBay for 85 quid. But they found out and stopped kids getting into museums and zoos if they had a badge, because there was no way of telling if it was legit or if they had bought it online. I'm very proud of that. I fucking hated Blue Peter. Also, I never had a Blue Peter badge in the first place. So basically, he ruined it for an entire generation of kids.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. Sorry. We'd lost Math Pig.
Yeah, I don't think he's feeling too good.
No worries.
What is Blue Peter?
Blue Peter, it's a kids show, but it's kind of, what would you call it, variety show? I can't think of anything.
Yeah, it was sort of kids variety show, but it was named after the flag, the Blue Peter, which is a flag ships used to fly in Portland just before they were about to set sail, just as a sort of warning. Hey, it was kind of like a warning. Hey, we're going to be leaving soon.
Link.
Okay.
That cat sent. All I see is a blue boat.
That's the
Blue Peter.
That's the logo from the TV show. Yeah.
But I expected to see some kind of fucking character or something. That's all.
Well, no, it's just 3 presenters.
Jesus Christ! This is a prolific Wikipedia page for fucking British children's TV
It's
show.
been going on for a long time.
It's been on what's been on think how long Sesame Street's been on TV, right? Blue Peter's older than that, way older.
It is.
Late
And,
50s?
Sesame Street is probably the closest thing to it as well, and Sesame Street's more scripted than Blue Peter. I can't think of anything closer than Sesame Street. Can you?
So Blue Peter was the
top of my
original reality show? Is that what you're saying? Unscripted?
It's more like think more like a late night show you've got now, Stephen Colbert, right? But with
For kids.
but for kids, with 3 or 4 presenters, and them going out and doing adventurous things as well, like zip lines and parachuting But it's hard to describe.
They do the weird little art and crafty things in the studio, We're
going to have to do a watch along of Blue Peter with Americans.
Yeah, I think Americans react to Blue Peter. That could be we need to show them some classic era stuff, though.
Yeah, no, it has to be classic era. I think they can get away with the copyright on anything modern. The first kids.
We've got to show them Shep.
Tatty says the first kids TV show with a pissing elephant.
Yeah, that is a clip you've got to show them. That's the elephant clip. We've got to show them that.
We're going to have to do a Blue Peter stream at some point.
Yeah.
Chad says the Muppet Show, but real people.
Yeah, pretty much.
That sounds creepy as fuck.
It was a good show.
What? They're just furries.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait. We have a balanced opinion here. Tusk says, it was a load of shite for little middle-class wankers. They said things like, run upstairs to the dressing up cabinet and ask Mummy for the pirate sword. They did. It was very middle class.
That one, but I wouldn't surprise you. I see what Tusk is saying, though. It was a little bit, yeah.
Very much.
I don't think it didn't seem to cater to kids on council estates much. No.
I mean, did you? I don't suppose. Why don't you ever made it over there?
How old is it?
Blue Peter is very
Late
old.
50s?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like the 50s or
Late
60s.
50s?
Yeah, Kaz's clip is black and white from '69. How
Yeah.
fucking old are you, Dave? Oh,
No, excuse me. It's an old. The show went on forever.
I'm pretty sure it's still on TV.
It is. Yeah. You know, it's like saying you're talking like Doctor Who. It's not like I was there for the first episode.
Mm.
I had Yvette Cooper. Was she one? She was.
Yeah, I remember her.
Could I ask a can I have a request, please?
What's that?
Could we stop referring to like the 50s and 60s as really old?
Okay. Well, okay, it's a little bit of trivia then. Anybody know which famous news event happened the day before the first Doctor Who episode ever aired?
World War One?
No, not quite that old.
No idea. It was 50.
Well, the first Doctor Who episode aired on the 23rd of November 1963. So there's a clue.
Cuban Missile Crisis?
Nope, you're in the right, but you are in the right. It was Kennedy assassination.
Ah. So Doctor Who is. There you go. Tusk said shooting of JFK. I hadn't even read it.
So I've got. Somebody said to me, "We got a head cannon somewhere." I think it may have been Godless Sewing. You may have said there's a head cannon somewhere that actually the JFK was the Doctor, and he was killed that day and regenerated as William Hartnell.
Hello.
This is why there's a conspiracy theory about the Kennedy assassination. It was actually there wasn't a person on the grassy knoll. It was the TARDIS.
Yeah.
And
yeah, you need to get familiar with Red Dwarf then, because I think they answer it.
They do. JFK shot JFK.
Yeah, JFK was the second gunman on the grassy knoll.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Carry on.
You've already answered this question, haven't you?
I don't know. What is it?
We're still on the check question, but we're mostly talking about British Kids TV.
That. I answered that. Yeah, checks are still very much a part of my life. Yep. I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay the surcharge to Mountain Electric for my electric bill every month.
There's a surcharge?
If I do an electronic automatic payment, yeah, there's a surcharge, and I don't want to pay it. So,
see, in our country, they discount you when you do it electronically because it's cheaper.
Ow.
Can I point out that on screen here, Sandy is doing something very arts and crafty here.
Yeah.
Right. This is an episode of Blue Peter.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Just need Sandy to come back and say, "Here's one I made earlier."
Sandy, do you have any sticky back plastic?
Yeah.
Sticky back plastic.
Yeah, that's what you need.
No.
No. Right, next question. Oh.
Did anyone hear that feedback other than me?
Oh, it was my phone ringing.
Oh, okay. I thought my headset had about blown my eardrums out.
Yeah,
Thanks.
sorry. Yeah.
No problem. Thanks.
Calling.
No big deal.
Right.
Carry on.
Question 1497. Would you ever clone and birth a child just to save a child you already have?
You asked this one already.
No, I didn't.
The other one was would you have another child? Just have another child to save a child you already have.
All right. And what's this one then?
This is the one that you wrote. that you wanted. Would you ever clone and birth a child just to save a child you already have?
Are we talking like for organ harvesting here or something?
Pretty much.
So this is the plot of that film, The Island.
Not quite, but yes.
It kind of is.
Yeah, you've got a 10-year-old daughter. You could make a baby.
Yeah. But then you make a baby. Yeah, but there's the problem. Therein lies the problem. You can't just harvest the baby's organs. The baby's got to grow.
No, you can get away. He's got to grow a little bit, but not massively. You can grow it outside the body.
I think there becomes an ethical issue when you've actually cloned something that is a sentient human being. I think there is an issue there.
At what point is that? If you only keep it alive for 6 months, or you kill it at night when it's born, but you keep it physically alive.
You can't do that. My God.
Well, you can stun it. You can remove the brain at 9 months and keep it alive on a heart-lung machine.
You cannot do that.
No, you could essentially, not allow for brain function within the womb.
Yeah.
They do have certain. It's not.
I mean, do you know? It's worse than that. The fact is, we are very close to understanding why we are more intelligent than other animals, right? And it may well just be a gene we can switch off. So you could basically clone it with that gene switched off, and it will have the brain. It will have the brain of a bonobo. It would never develop beyond very rudimentary basic instincts.
I wouldn't raise a bonobo just for harvest. You can't do that to a sentient being.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. There's probably
a bonobo not sentient?
They are able to identify themselves in a mirror situation. They're able to interact with their family.
Okay, well, we'll go the other way. Harmonica Man says we grow it without a brain. No brain at all.
No brain. So basically, in other words, would it be ethically okay to harvest organs from a flat earther?
Yeah. You don't got a brain, bitch.
No one's...
Yeah, but would you want to?
Not from allegedly Dave, because I know what's been in that system.
So what in that situation you're saying we can grow any human organ, it just has to grow them all at once.
Yes. We can grow a body. Well, someone has to gestate it, but
there can't be a face either. A brain alone isn't it? Yeah, it can't.
No, it would have a face. Of course, it would have a face. The amount of genetics required to make it not have a face is huge. Whereas a brain might just be a switch, or you just cut the umbilical cord, cut the brain stem at 19 weeks in the womb. Ricardo.
Okay, so because my first ethical problem would be the birth of the first child. So I don't think I would get that far into having to clone a child and birth a second child to save the first.
Well, you wouldn't have any children, is what you're saying there.
Yeah.
I think you have to assume that you've got a child.
Okay, now that puts me in a position where, because I don't have a child, I'm not able to actually make an educated guess on how I would react with having a child. But I think, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that ethical that would be a good thing to do, with brain or no brain.
With brain or no brain. Tobin says, grow spare parts, why not? Sandy?
Yes.
Yes, you would?
No, read the question again, because I can't see the screen.
Would you ever clone and birth a child just to save
No.
a child you already had.
No.
So the child you had would die.
I would not ever birth a child, clone or not.
Tusk says, "Can I put the brain of the first child into the clone one?" Not at the moment. The technology's not there to do that. Ox says no. Hi, Ox.
And it doesn't bother anybody that they're working on that technology, though?
They are working on that technology.
They are working on that technology. I don't agree with it.
What? To be able to brain transplant? Again, we've got a whole army of flat earthers that we could give a brain from someone else to.
Actually, can we start with the anti-vaxxers first, and then the climate deniers? And then
There's a lot more anti-vaxxers.
These flat earthers are like, they're not hurting anybody.
Oh yes, they are. They're creating such a climate of anti-science that I think they're
but I mean, as comparatively speaking to the anti-vaxxers and climate deniers and those fucking twats.
I can't refuse that. That's
No, I've lost. Ox says, those who try to play God are fools. Turtle Move says, why waste energy growing a whole body? Can't you just clone parts? Not yet. Parts are terribly complicated. They are, but we're pretty doing a structure, and really you need to grow it in somebody.
They have had.
Wait a second.
They have had 100% successful human-grown or lab-grown trachea implanted.
Yeah, first of all, the growing in someone is a good option, but also, what about like lab-grown meat? I'm assuming they don't grow the whole fucking animal, do they?
No, but the lab-grown meat, it doesn't work. That's the reason they have struggled. Right, we got lab-grown meat.
I don't know enough about it.
We got lab-grown meat 25 years ago. But it did not taste right.
Okay.
Right, we can take cells from an animal and grow them. We've got no problem doing that. But the problem is that doesn't give you the texture of everything with it built.
Mm-hmm.
It's why even now the thing they try and make is burgers, because at least that's mushed up to try and get it. With the idea of getting a piece of meat, we're getting there, but we're way off because it's the structure. We can make the cells, but we can't make the structure. The most promising, the trachea is an interesting one actually, because that is mostly structure, and they've been trying with organs, doing it by taking the structure from another animal. So taking like a pig heart, and you remove the meat from it, leaving just the structure, and then they grow using your cells, the meat around the heart, and that basically creates a functioning heart. And I've seen that research. I don't know how far it got.
Well, it's called the ladder, by the way, and they've not been able to do it with complex organs such as a liver.
Yeah.
Because seems to be a bunch of subtleties about how it's constructed and laid out that are at issue.
See,
that they
I think we will get
or like a
first.
kidney, because there's just too many different cells in it and they're doing too many different things. I'm personally hoping that they're going to get their asses in gear and be able to replace a heart and lungs pretty soon.
Oh, I'm back.
I think.
Like my mother's lungs to be replaced.
I think we will have a stem cell. You will be given a stem cell that's switched to an organ, and you will grow another one. I think that's more likely.
I'm curious as to how much further we would be, technologically speaking, in advancements in the field if it weren't for the Catholic Church relating to fucking stem cell. Because even like almost every other Christian denomination has gotten on board almost immediately, or at least in the ensuing years. But them, those motherfucking Catholics, and yes, I'm an ex-Catholic, technically, whatever.
Is Southern Baptist on board with?
Yep.
No.
Yep. Yeah, I've talked to Baptist preachers that have said, that they don't understand what the issue is. So
the point is that's now, though, isn't it? Now that stem cells are not necessarily fetal. But don't forget, all the early research had to be fetal. We didn't have the technology to do anything with anything else.
I was going to bring.
There's people who are even upset the fact that they are using stem cells that are 100 generations past the original stem cell that came from a fetus. They still consider it a fetal cell then, and therefore you're going to go to hell.
But the point is, you can make stem cells out of anything now, pretty much.
I was going to say I was listening in whilst I was away. I did put it in the chat, but
I'm not caught up with the chat.
I just think, just so Amanda's aware, most of the flat earthers are anti-vaxxers and COVID.
Well, no, I'm aware of that. I'm just saying,
So, it's not mutually exclusive.
Tusk says, "Wait, I can't switch brains out because the tech doesn't exist, but I can still clone a child. What sort of madhouse do you live in? Of course you can clone it. Cloning we can do.
Mm.
And cloning humans, there's no reason we can't clone humans. The only thing I'm fairly certain we have cloned several humans.
Yeah.
But officially, it's an ethical problem.
We cloned a sheep like 20 fucking years ago.
Haven't you ever seen Orphan Black, Dave?
I thought except that the thing with cloning whole creatures had something to do with their alleles.
Yeah, no, you have
a part of the gene that says when you're going to die. And so
you have a telomere problem.
Somebody who's 25 years old, you've cloned it into a baby, but it's a 25-year-old baby.
Yes, that is a problem, but it's pretty much been resolved. I don't remember how.
I've got to say, I'm not convinced that Pale Blue Mama is not in fact a clone of Mama Atheist.
She looks very similar.
Who is Mama Atheist?
There you go, see?
Can I just see your lower lip, please?
Mine? Nothing there.
Don't
so she's the original.
So
that's where they
so the other one was the clone.
Yeah. She's been terminated.
But me. This world could not handle two of me, and you know that.
I had this.
See, now you're giving these images that just don't work.
I'd have this nasty feeling you'd go full Star Wars with a fucking army of clones.
Tusk says nobody has cloned a human yet. I don't believe that. There was definitely an Italian doctor that sodded off to China that made claims. It's given how easy it is. I don't believe it's not been done.
It could very well have been done somewhere that we don't know about. I don't know, but it's
my point is,
to the best of our knowledge, it hasn't been done.
That doesn't sound like a secret that you would keep. Like there's too many people.
The problem is I don't know the benefit of doing it beyond having done it. I think it will make the name of the person, but
you mean we're the only people who've ever thought of doing this for the harvesting of an organ?
I don't think it's good enough yet. I think there are probably two. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm now really reaching the limits of my knowledge.
There are nefarious people that I'm sure already have a waiting list of people that they want to get organs or whatever from harvested fetuses or something. People are just too disgusting nowadays.
I remember reading somewhere that in '98, a group of doctors in South Korea had cloned an embryo.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was like the first official time that it was confirmed, but they've stopped when it was in the early stage, like moral or something like that, just 4 or 8 cells or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah,
but I remember reading that. So from then until now, yeah, probably. Dark, but probably.
Probably. The turtle move says the Clone Ranger, hi-ho. You're going to say, if we had reliable human cloning, the army would have done it a long time ago.
I didn't think about it. Like, talking about cloning, talking about cloning right then.
Mark says, research starts from the place of not knowing why they are doing it and have no specific goals. He's not wrong. Tusk says, we're getting very close to conspiracy theory territory. They've done it, they're hiding it from us. No, I don't. It's not that I think they're hiding it from us. I think that there are ethical things in place to prevent it. And I think the fact that they moved to a country, I'll talk to you about it later, Tusk. I have to look some stuff up. It's been a long time since, but there was an Italian doctor, and he went over. Yeah, I'm sure he went over to China, but I can't remember the details. Right, should we do the next question? Given that we've
I think we should. That's been done to death.
It has. Okay. Question 1498. If you suddenly discovered that people you had fantasized about while masturbating were always fully aware of this, what would your first thoughts be?
I love Sandy's face.
She's muted. Jeff.
I have no idea, to be honest.
Betsy said, "Uh-oh." Donut says, my first thoughts would be, I can't get my pants off fast enough. He's going to subject them to it. Tatty says they could have at least lent a hand.
I would ask, how can you make this go two ways?
My first thought would be just wait till next time. Manda?
I mean, that's too broad of a question because you're saying everybody. There's certain people that I know would be like into it, and then there are some people that like don't know me or anything. So like, I don't know. I'd just be embarrassed, I guess. Yeah.
Be embarrassed. Mark says, I would hope they would feel honoured by the thought.
I think I'd be more embarrassed if I found out anyone had done that about me.
Who on the panel? Who on the panel hasn't? To Jeff. There you go. Ricardo.
To be fair, that's not really a confirmation or a denial. It's just we're not answering that fucking question.
Tusk says he did it yesterday. Daddy says sorry.
You know what? I had that covered. I fucking walked right into that, didn't I? But...
I'm on a command says, so you're going to open that window or not? Tusk says, and I'm going to do it again tonight.
Hey, knock yourself out, bro.
Ricardo.
Or knock one out, which way, you know.
I would think, oh, nice. I think I'm going to have a wank.
That was it. Carter got the answer that time.
Sandy.
What? I gave my nonverbal answer quite clearly.
Yes, she gave me the eyes. Which means, Dave, that she's thought about you. I mean, who of us on this panel has not thought about Dave during masturbation? Come on.
Don't speak for me.
Only if you're trying to do the no nut November thing and like no, don't do it. Think a day.
Hear me out. Honestly, nobody's mind wanders to weird places, and afterwards you're like, "What the fuck just happened?" You know, why did I think of that? Nobody.
What I want to know you see, is what Margaret Thatcher would think of the fact that Jeff has repeatedly used to slow himself down.
I repeatedly said "fuck her" when she was alive.
Angel made a Margaret Thatcher joke earlier today. You would have been proud, Jeff.
Cool.
I don't remember what it was, but it was pretty much along the lines of "fuck her." So,
right. Next question, I think.
No, motherfucker.
What
No.
do you mean no? I don't know
You're not getting out of that one.
Mm-mm.
I can only apologise. I can't think of anything else. Right. Next question.
Let's be honest. There'd be certain celebrities around the world who many people do that over, who would just be like,
We would have to
overloaded.
we would have to have created mind bleach if this was the case.
Yeah.
Trump already did it.
Right.
Next time you masturbate, think about anything you want except Trump.
You're an arsehole.
There's weird places and there's that.
There is.
Unless of course you get sexual gratification from the idea of hitting someone in the head with a baseball bat repeatedly, then by all means, I'm not going to kink shame.
Yeah. Right. Question 1499. What was your biggest DIY blunder?
Define biggest.
You can define it in whichever way you want. Here's the point. I mean, I can tell you mine. When I put the question in, I thought I had to have one to this, otherwise people are going to kill me. I was fixing something under the floorboards, and I took a floorboard. I took 2 nails out and took the floorboard up. And when I put the floorboard back down, I couldn't find one of the nails. So I just put it in the, as opposed to the one nail either side, I just put it in the middle without thinking about it. And so I go, dunk! And that was where the heating pipe was. So I ripped that floorboard up so quick, and there's a fucking geyser as the heating empties. The heating system empties.
Is that where the water leak was, Dave?
No, not this house. Jenny.
Well, see, I'm having trouble separating DIY from
Work.
work and stuff. When you do mechanical stuff for a living, you make a mistake of some sort virtually every day. But it's the
What was the biggest?
I blew up a guy's engine once. In the parking lot.
Oops, sorry about that.
Yeah. It was, I built him a new one.
That day?
No, it can't really do that in a day. Well, you can if you have all the parts, but you don't have all the parts. So I guess that would be it. It was. I just don't want to have to tell you why I did it or how I did it.
Why did you? You did it intentionally?
No, I didn't actually like the guy very much, but he ended up really benefiting from this because this car had 175,000 miles on it, and I blew up an engine with that many miles on it, and he ended up getting a new one for free.
Yeah.
And built a new one for free. So.
Fair enough.
It was actually a favor, I guess. He considered it a favor.
Doorknob Head says, I did pierce the house's outdoor water pipe. Oh, that wasn't a rock after all. I can tell because of the 8-foot high fountain. Gibbler says, that time 16 months ago that I left those COVID samples in my homemade lab.
Jesus.
9 o'clock Hero says, turning off a stopcock that had a tapered thread. I don't know what that would do. Jeff.
I can't honestly think of one off the top of my head.
Nothing? Not even painting?
I'm sure I mean, don't get me wrong. I know I've fucked up doing like around the house stuff, but off the top of my head, I can't really think. I honestly can't think of anything.
Have you never flooded anywhere?
No, because see, the thing is, I think with this question as well is, I think intentional things have kind of got to be ruled out of this, right?
They do, because
so I cannot honestly think, and I know, of course, I know I've made fuck ups, but actually, maybe possibly one time. I think I may have put some. I may have put a little bit too much catalyst into some epoxy resin one time, and it exothermed like fucking crazy way before I'd finished doing the job. That was sort of long time ago. So I can't remember exactly. I can't remember exactly how it is I fucked it, but I do remember one time I was halfway through doing a like laminated job, and I done something wrong with the resin, and it exothermed like fucking crazy right in front of me.
Tusk says, I've had a couple of motorbikes blow up or catch fire due to my shoddy engineering skills. One was live because the battery terminals were touching the frame.
Ooh.
I had a CB catch fire. The wires melt, and I was driving along, and all of a sudden the entire inside of the car filled up with smoke.
That's one chemical reaction you don't want to be party to. When electricity finds its route and it happens to be not in a wire, it's it's pretty bad and instantaneous. That's my favorite thing. I've seen this happen where amateurs will connect the battery backwards to go to charge it, and the moment they energize, boom, the whole system is down, and they always try to turn it off real fast. It's like, dude,
it's done. It's over.
The damage is done. Give me a couple $1,000, I'll fix it.
Manda.
Okay, so like, I'm a princess from Connecticut, so I don't really like do a lot of DIY. I have other people do it for me, or I hire them.
All right. So, what have you been involved with that was a disaster?
All I could think about is I dropped an earring down the sink like a couple years ago, so I took the pipe out and everything, but I didn't realize how much water was going to come down, and it got because it's like a cabinet under the sink, so it got wet, and I thought it would be fine, but the water seeped through the cabinet and then through the floor and then into the kitchen and dripped down right on top of the stove, so it kind of destroyed a little bit of the ceiling in the kitchen. So, oops.
Damn, that's a lot of water out of a drain.
It wasn't that much. No, honestly though, these houses here, because they build these fucking houses in Georgia in like 2 or 3 months. They're built like shit. So if this had been my house, like the house in Connecticut I grew up in, and granted the land and where it is more expensive as well. It was a 3 bedroom, 1 bath. And the money that was made selling that house bought this 6 bedroom, 4 bath. So in Georgia, so that's how much it's just not built well. But yeah,
you have a 6 bedroom house.
What?
You have a 6 bedroom house, or
yeah,
6 bedroom. You said bedroom, not bathroom, right?
6 bedroom, 4 bath, 1 golf cart garage.
You can get 2 in there.
2 golf carts?
Yeah.
Golf carts. We have an actual. We have a 2-car garage and then the golf cart garage.
Oh,
in the
fair
basement,
enough.
So.
Why don't you leave the golf carts outside? That seems. Yeah. Okay.
Because they don't have like. What if it rains? You've seen golf carts, Dave. They don't have like
No, but they're meant to live outside. They get wet.
Hey, you asked Angel about that, though. They're really not. He had to take care of them, the ones at the golf course, when he worked there.
Yeah, I heard about him taking care of them.
Yeah, he did.
Mobster. Right, Chad's... no, not Chad. Tusk says, in that case, I pierced my own genitals at least 3 times when drunk. How? What? In the...
Well, if you're going to allow body modifications, then...
No, I'm going to allow body... That's not the question I've got. The question I've got is, who gets drunk and thinks, this is going to be a good idea?
Dave, when people
get
drunk, there's a lot of people who might think something sounds a good idea when it's really not.
I guess, to be fair, being not drunk and saying, let's stick holes in my dick is... not much better.
Or tits, or lips, or noses, or...
Mark says, are you like Trump? You have your own golf course. Amanda has her own golf course.
No, I live on a golf course.
Literally. Yeah. She lives in Mar-a-Lago.
That was my wedding the other day.
It's just say Trump's kind of a regular around her neighborhood. Let's just say that.
Tusk says, I have 100
not
tattoos.
Trump, but a lot of rich white dudes. That's for damn sure. So
I have 100 tattoos that have had at least 50 piercings in my life. Why? How many have you got now?
Wait, who said that?
Tusk.
Tusk, really? How big are your fucking tattoos, dude?
How many piercings have you had?
Like, earrings don't count, right? You're just talking body piercings?
Well, you can count the ones that aren't one in each ear.
Not one. Well, I mean, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have like 5 at least in each. Plus, I have these. And then in terms of actual body piercings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8. But in some of them multiple times over. Yeah. Not that much. Not Tusk level, apparently.
I'm 100% in support of people choosing to do that on themselves, but good God, really?
What, tattoos or piercings?
Wow.
He has about 15 now.
Jenny, you've been in a hangout with Slim before, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of part of Slim's identity.
Yeah.
I have my ears pierced, and I've been thinking of getting a second hole in each, and that's as far as it goes for me.
See, I got my lobes pierced professionally, and I think I got one of these done, and the rest of them I did myself. I obviously didn't do this one, though.
Yeah. Well, I'm a child of the 50s and 60s, so I have my limits, I guess.
Sandy.
What was the question again?
What's your biggest DIY blunder?
Oh, dear. No, I have blacked out on that because there have been so many of them.
Which
I just fix them.
When did you end up unconscious?
Unconscious?
Yeah. You've got electrocuted yourself and knocked out or hit on the head?
No.
No? Flooded the entire house?
The house has been flooded a few times, but it wasn't because of my work.
Fair enough.
I suppose if it's got to be something to do with DIY, then it would be probably the fact that I bought the wrong heater for the house when I was building it. So I sold it to a fella, and they showed up, and we'd been drinking. Everybody'd been drinking. And as we were taking the water heater out of the house, I was directing, because I don't lift water heaters.
Who does?
And there were these rocks that I had that were supposedly steps. And one of them was a little bit loose. And on that side of the house, the drop-off is like this. And I lost my balance and went down that bank, broke my nose again.
Oh, breaking! You're the first person that's had a breakage.
Oh, I've had my nose broken a couple of times.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Carry on.
Says, can't remember ever having a DIY blunder. Had many a professional blunders to fix. Tusk says his partner has 30 piercings now, he thinks. Well, I insist you go and count them now. Demand that random people on the internet want to know. Ricardo.
Does it count if you try to be smart and have this fancy project that doesn't work well? When you try to be like, okay. Do you know sugar powder rockets?
Yeah?
Yeah. So when I was a kid, I had this idea of doing like a rocket launcher thing. And I built it. Everything is full. Everything. I thought everything was okay, but I kind of forgot that they vibrate as the rockets go out. So the last rocket went sideways and went right through a place where they keep the cows. So when I hit the building, and they are not silent, so the cows stampede kind of thing. They've just run away. So I hid all of the evidence and then went to the place where the cows were running around and everyone was trying to catch the cows. And I was like, yeah, these vandals, people doing shit that they shouldn't. So I've never took the blame for it. But yeah, that was a bad one.
That sounds it. Brainbook says, I tried to circumcise my male mantis so he'd be more appealing to the female mantises in the States.
Dave, I'm sure you have something to say about that.
How dare you? Leave the poor male mantises alone. He does also add, not really. Right. What question? Oh, guess what question we're on?
No, not really. I mean, wait. First of all, what question were we on?
1499.
No, holy fuck. Why would I? Did you answer the question, Dave?
I answered it first.
Okay, then fine. Well, it was like an hour ago.
It's just like... Right. Well, this is the penultimate question.
Thank you.
Question. Oh, no, I haven't pressed the button. Question 1500. Do you still listen to the radio? Why and which stations?
No, I don't. Not really anymore. I only maybe when I got it. Only maybe when I'm at work and the radio is on, but it's not sort of my choice really.
Fair enough.
A lot of the time because for some reason they stick this really shitty station called Wave 105 on that just plays crap music. There is a local one called Sam FM, which occasionally, if I'm out, like depending on who I'm working with and what they decide they're putting on in their van or whatever, I'm generally kind of grateful if they put Sam FM on because it does play some decent rock music instead of like dreary, depressing, fucking soft pop shit that what the other stations in our area put on.
How do you really feel?
Yeah.
Well, Jeff and his music. Come on.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing I will never listen to is Radio 1.
Why not?
It's been shit for like 30 years.
Do you listen to Kerrang?
Kerrang I do not listen to, no. Kerrang is like... Kerrang is always, even as a magazine, has always tried to market itself as something like alternative, and it's really not.
It's like mainstream, but slightly.
It's mainstream that tries to pass itself off as like a metal magazine.
Yeah.
And it's just
I don't mind Kerrang, so that tells you.
Well, they're like, hey, we're like real hardcore like metal station, and they play shit like Limp Bizkit or fucking Sum 41 24/7 on a 24/7 loop.
Oh, they're good. Don of Head says, I listen to National Public Radio on the way to and from work. Tusk says yes. Oh, he doesn't like National Public Radio. Tusk says yes, Radio 2 or Radio 4 when on fishing trips. They're now screwing with me on the numbers. Harmonica Man says no unless one of my friends are having or being on a show. And Mark Caesar says listen to the radio at work all the time. The life of an Uber driver. Jenny.
I listen to Wisconsin Public Radio. When I listen to the radio, I probably don't more than once a week. Or if I'm driving a distance, I will prefer to listen to radio. Wisconsin Public Radio is a network across the entire state, and so I can theoretically drive from the northern end of the state to the southern end of the state and keep the same radio, not the same signal, but the same shows and stuff playing at the same time.
Ricardo?
Nope, I don't listen to the radio, except if I'm listening to someone else's radio, like at work or when you're going to Wilco or something like that.
Sandy? Has vanished.
Did you say Sandy?
Yes. Would you
I would listen.
Would you prefer I called you Sadie?
God, no. I don't give a shit. I would listen to the radio all day long if I was able to get reception in the basement.
You could put an aerial up.
But I do listen to it in the car.
Yeah. What station? You don't know.
I don't remember the call numbers, but it's the ride, and it plays music of my era.
Your era.
Yeah, good rock and roll and other stuff.
Oh, I thought you're. Never mind.
Amanda.
No. No.
What? You've gone very quiet.
What?
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you. I can
Really
barely
quiet.
hear you.
Can you fucking hear me now, bitches?
Yes.
Yes.
Do what? What was that?
We don't, for some reason, even though I'm only 40 minutes outside of Atlanta, the reception is really bad. I don't know if it's just the town I live in. So I don't really get much anyway. But when I was living in Tucson, it was between either, alt rock station or a 90s hip hop station. So that's it.
Fair enough. The Turtle Moves says Radio Wales, the Go Bear guy, Wayne Evans, is nuts. I should try and listen to that. We can get Radio Wales here. Tusk says, I also listen to Gaelic radio to annoy English speakers when they overhear you. Okay.
I actually almost miss the days of like the old like medium and wave and low wave radio where you could pick up blooming stations in like Eastern Europe or whatever.
Do you know what Atlantic's number was?
Oh, I can't remember.
I'm wondering in my head if it was 252. Atlantic 252.
I will say one of my Facebook friends was a Radio Caroline DJ back in the day.
So very much a rebel.
Yeah, so that's very very much in the glory days of British radio when it was pirate fucking radio stations for playing all the best music.
I should say the only time I listen to the radio now is in the car, and then I tend to flip between Radio 2, Radio 4, Radio 1, and Capital. And very occasionally, if I'm in the mood for smooth.
Yeah, so one thing I cannot abide listening to is Radio 1.
That doesn't surprise me.
Growing up, my parents would have just a local AM station. Well, there was only AM. The local radio station every morning. It was period.
Yeah, Mark says, did anybody listen to AM radio? Yes. Radio City, 192 on the AM. David Melbourne says, Mark, yes, because I'm old. They were just switching. I mean, on this is how bad it is. FM, when I was a kid, had 2 of the BBC stations and maybe 2 commercial. There were virtually not.
Actually,
on
I just realised I'd tell a lie. Another thing I might do, because obviously I've got an FM radio on my phone. I hardly ever use it unless certain Saturdays, if I'm out working sort of past 3 o'clock for any reason.
You see, this is the thing. I was waiting for Caroline to hit me. I do listen to another radio show that I listen to all the time, which is Euro Nation, which is a Canadian radio station that I listen to online.
I just realised occasionally I will listen to football on a radio station if it's on.
Why'd you do that? That's a terrible thing to do.
That's one of the things I really like about the internet is the fact that I can download an app and I can listen to my favorite public radio station back home anytime I want. It's right there.
Yeah.
It's like I never moved. Well, you become accustomed to a certain station, and sometimes you want to keep following it.
Radio at is what's at? Radio at is Radio 1 from 20 years ago. Where's at on a thingy keyboard? Tuss says, I spent years in the Royal Corps of Signals. We had a huge AM radio mast on our vehicles that we would use to listen to AM stations from all over the world. I remember having an international radio which had a fucking massive antenna. Be tuning into bits. Right, should we do the last question?
So my stepfather was in the Royal Signals.
Was he?
Yeah.
The dodgy, aren't the Royal Signals the dodgy ones that are doing secret stuff?
Not really.
Intercepting, or are they the ones? I don't know. I can't remember what the Royal Signals do. Are they the ones that?
There's a bit of a fucking clue in the name that is to do with communication.
Yeah, my point is do they focus on establishing communication, or do they focus on intercepting?
Establishing mainly.
That's where I'm getting my mix up.
Are you talking about shortwave radio?
They were talking about AM radio.
Oh, okay.
Right, last question. Question 1501. Would you rather have mastery over Spider-Man's web slingers or a lightsaber?
Lightsaber.
Oh, fucking Spider-Man.
No,
Spider-Man any day.
Lightsaber, fuck Spider-Man, he's a cunt. Sorry.
You prefer...
Sorry, can I actually ask, quick question, we could clarify here. This is just the devices, right? Not we don't get any of the abilities.
No. But, well, if you have the Spider-Man's web slinger, you can use it to swing. The way he does. You have mastery of it.
Yeah.
And you have mastery of the lightsaber as well. But you don't have the rest of the Force.
Yeah. So, I mean... You know, Marvel's better than fucking Star Wars, and I love Star Wars, but
Marvel
as far as companies owned by the evil empire, Marvel's the one I can sort of stomach. So, you know, and I do like Star Wars as well. It's the thing.
Ox says lightsaber.
Yeah.
David Melbourne says lightsaber. Ox says Jedi can kill Spider-Man. He said Jedi could kill Spider-Man, but we're not talking about a Jedi.
I've got to say it. They have the thought. We have a Hulk.
We have a Hulk. Rainbow, you don't. All you have is a web slinger.
Oh, Hulk smash. Well, you know what? Palpatine can fucking lightning your ass and
the Hulk could fuck him
squish
up.
your balls, Jeff.
The Hulk would fuck him up.
Brainbug says web slings hands down.
Thanos can just click his fingers. Palpatine's gone.
Ox says...
Oh, yeah. Fucking stone magic and time travel. That's some real cerebral shit there. Do you understand? Okay, I just watched a fuck ton of MCU shit recently. You know, Angel and her friend mine kind of got me to watch it so I would understand WandaVision a little better, and it was bad. I just finished watching Endgame the other day, and I'm still complaining about it now. It was the wrong day to pick to tell me that fucking MCU is better than Star Wars.
No. I said Marvel as a whole, the whole property. I didn't just say the MCU, did I? I enjoy the MCU, but I'm saying Marvel as a whole.
Well, I thought everything Marvel is in the MCU.
No, not at all.
Right there. Ox has a point on this. What? Screw Marvel. Marvel? Comic books are just Bibles for nerds.
Tusk comes to that conclusion.
Tusk says a lightsaber is just a shiny sword. Rainbow says Spider-Man could take the entire Jedi Order solo.
Yeah.
Demon Orb says a light slinger.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Ox says can't have a lightsaber unless trained as a Jedi or a Sith warrior. You can in the question. Spooky says Marvel is better than Star Wars. That's just basic science. The Turtle Move says lightsaber and lie wait for Spider-Man.
I'm leaving this community and divorcing all of you.
Hey, I didn't do anything wrong.
You haven't answered yet, Sandy.
Tusk says Space Wars is shite, so is Spider-Man. Gibbler says lightsaber all day long and night too.
There you go.
9 o'clock hero says mastery of web slings. Have you seen how much shit Spider-Man crashes into?
He does a bit, yeah. He doesn't quite. He does have this little tendency to crash into shit at times.
Santi says Jedis cannot kill Spider-Man because of the spider sense. Have the movie Skin Deep, the luminous. What the fuck? Have you seen the movie Skin Deep with the luminous lightsaber condom scene? No. Anyone?
No.
Okay, Ox says Spider-Man isn't real, but Jedis are, so Spider loses.
I love
All right, I'm about to disagree with one of my best buddies, man. I'm telling you. You said if I could have mastery over spinning webs, I can swing through the trees on a web, right?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden I'm mobile again without pain. I'm taking the damn spider web stuff, man.
There you go. You see. She says Spider-Man is real and Jedis aren't.
I have a question.
I didn't say Jedis aren't real.
Yeah, it's just.
I have a question.
It's just.
Before I
It's
answer.
just that they. It's just that they Jedi's try to establish itself as an actual religion to hide the fact that they're just LARPers.
For 2 seconds, Jenny. Gibbler says a big can of Raid will fuck Spider-Man up. Jenny, what's your question?
I thought you said I don't get any of the additional powers, so if I can sling a web, all I can do is sling a web and go back and forth on it.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Can I just?
I would have to pick the lightsaber because you can just really fuck people up with that. And there's a whole bunch of people that need fucking up.
Sandy, you just got to remember you still need to land, though. That's why, Just saying.
Just practice. You have a mastery of it. That's the point.
You have a mastery of slinging webs. You don't have a mastery of the landing. It's a whole other thing.
And even if I could sling a web, nobody's going to kiss me even if I can't hang upside down on it. So.
Black cat. Fair enough. What? I'm going. Ricardo.
So, I don't like the web thing because you know what? It looks still quite a lot like the pedipalps. I think it's the name for the spiders, but Brainbug will probably correct me. But I think that's weird. I will go with the lightsaber, me, because even if it's just a sword, because I don't have all the force power and everything, it's just really, really cool sword.
But it is just a cool sword. Ox says, even Q from Star Trek was a Jedi Knight. He just got lost. No, he wasn't. 9 o'clock hero says, a web slinger would be handy for shoplifters. Santi says, you won't accidentally chop your arms off with some web. He's not wrong.
But you have the mastery of it, he said.
You do have mastery of it. I cannot deny that. I'm going to do something really
Brian
bad.
says, giving upside down Spider-Man kisses used to be my trademark move. Smooth, Brian. Smooth.
It doesn't surprise me. Right. I'm getting the web slingers. I think the lightsabers are dumb. I think it's a sword.
But it's a
I get
cool
it,
one.
yeah.
The thing I always
A
wondered
real
about
fucking
Spider-Man
sword.
is, okay, so you're on your web and you're going to go save the world or whatever that you're going to do. What if it's in the middle of the street, and you can't get there from either side?
Of course you can.
Or if
You swing up to that side and you swing up to that
so
side.
fine, so you can get from one building to the middle of the street. How do you get to the other side of the street then? It's you have to
You
shoot
swing on
another
the building. I mean,
you have to
I'd
shoot
have to
another
move.
web. And how much
There's
web shit can you possibly carry on you?
Have you seen those foam cans you use for insulation?
Yes.
The equivalent of that. So loads.
Really? Okay. Then why is Spider-Man never seen with like 1,000 square feet of or cubic feet of foam on his back?
I also remember that fan video somebody made.
Marvel lies. That's all there's to it.
I always remember this brilliant fan film someone made a few years ago of Deadpool sneaking into Spider-Man's room or whatever and swapping his web fluid or whatever for silly string. So the second he chopped that, and I actually had to show this to someone who is not familiar with the comics, because I was trying to explain this is before the Deadpool film was out, and I actually said, you actually see it in the comics. This is the sort of shit Deadpool would actually do,
I love Deadpool. He's my
Yes. Chad says the ability to waggle a fictional stick is unappealing. I've got a real stick. Web slingers and a regular stick, please.
Do I need to go get my dark saber? Just saying. Fucking cool. It's not just some light stick. It's like a dick.
Oh.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
that's it. We should be done. I have to reveal something. Okay, that Kaz is pissed off that no one noticed.
Mm-hmm.
No, not
Well,
that.
you can't tell unless you.
No, not that. You see this?
Your Twizzler? I don't know what that is.
It was what I came onto the St. Patrick's Day stream and claimed was a green flag.
Oh yeah.
It's just a stick.
So there was no flag. You were fucking.
No,
with
it would
us?
be in front of my face, wouldn't it? I'd have background in front of my face if I had a green flag on it.
Why, Dave?
Oh, it was just funny. It was I could wave it.
There you go. So you had a green screen. You should just claim that as your flag.
But I couldn't show it. I can't show anything green. Therein lies the problem. Right. I've forgotten how I end these shows. Oh, do you have anything coming up? Amanda, have you done anything interesting?
I mean, I just released a tiny new video explaining my name. I have another video I made and trying to do something this weekend. I just don't know what. So,
have you done anything significant with your channel? Big, huge, mind-altering that will blow people's minds.
I changed my name. And,
Did you? What's your new name?
It is Pale Blue Mama. It is a Carl Sagan quote. And
Hail Sagan.
Hail Sagan. It just fit me more because, the secular community is where I belong, but I speak more to the science topics and than I do to atheism. Plus, pale blue dot goes with climate science and astrophysics. So,
also, the algorithm doesn't like the word atheist.
Yeah, no, too. But yes, I'm very happy with it. It took us a couple weeks to figure it out, but when when the person who suggested it to me said it, it clicked. And I was like, "Yep, that's it. That's it." So.
Ox says, but it says Pale Blue Dave on the screen.
Well, it's always going to be Dave something when I'm on the show. Because I am the actual Dave, people. You understand that, right?
Yeah, so you're the other Dave that caused the windmill problem.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, I am bi, so it makes sense. Why not?
I want to meet the Dave that put that pin in your ball when it collapsed.
That was Daisy.
Alt Universe Dave.
Alt Universe Dave. He's got a goatee.
No, he's got a Fu Manchu.
Jeff.
Just the usuals on Sunday, really. The stream with Noodle, and then the probably going to be on Ring stream after that. Other than that, I don't think I've got anything planned at the moment. So
Fair enough. Ox said, well, at least there's one good-looking Dave on the stream. I can't work out if he's insulting me or you.
I think he knows better than to insult Manta.
Jenny.
I don't. I'm stupid enough to keep doing it. But...
Well, tomorrow at noon Central Time, Purple Rhymes with Orange is having his Midday Mid-America, and the topic is in respect to the Trans Day of Visibility. We're going to be talking about transgender rights and how the right wing is not only trying to remove those from us today, but to exterminate us from the planet, quite literally. Thursday at midnight, I'll be on the Purple Midnight Show, Midnight Mid-America, and we'll just be usual bullshit. And I believe Friday there's going to be movie night coming off of hiatus, I think. But
cool.
I don't know. Just having all sorts of problems getting proper speed internet down where she is now. And she's just hasn't been on hiatus. So we're trying to figure something out on that.
Ricardo?
No, nothing planned. Let's see what comes along.
Sandy? No. Right. In which case, I'm going to say thank you to Manda, to Jeff, to Jenny, to Sandy, and to Ricardo. And thank you to everyone for coming. We will see you hopefully before next Tuesday, but otherwise next Tuesday. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
See you all later.
All right.